Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my good golly gosh. Oh jeez. Who's the evil dark version of golly gosh? What's her like shadow form? What would that be called? If she had to face her shadow self on the field of battle. Within the realm of the mind, within the vast realm of the mind, she had to confront her shadow self. To awaken to her true power. Seize what rightfully belongs to her. To know that she is not yet. She's not yet the promised hero. She's not yet who she needs to be, but she could be. She can be. If only she can conquer the darkest parts of her psyche. What was that character's name? Right now I need to conquer the hottest parts of this cup of tea. Ooh, like the perfect temperature. I could feel it. I could feel it being slightly too hot and cooling down to just drinkable as it touched my lips. As it touched my sweet, delicate lips. I could feel it arriving at the exact right temperature. It's good. I'm enjoying drinking it. I gotta make some iced tea. I keep forgetting to do that. I gotta experiment. I gotta make some iced tea. I gotta see if I can make a good iced green tea. What goes good with that? Anyway. There we go. There we go. Oh shit, wait. Never mind. There we don't go. I think I've forgotten to do this every single time I've streamed for the past, like... I don't know. We're on a combo right now. I'm not really sure what the combo is. But... Anyway. There we go. Hello. Hi. How's everybody doing? How's it going? Welcome. I don't know why I said that so forcefully. What up, Stone? What up, Noel? What up, Grinner? Is this the emote of the day, or is that from... I think that was yesterday's, if it's still active. I don't know why I got started so late tonight. Vultures. Scavengers of death. That is a description of what a vulture does. That is a very apt subtitle, I guess. That is kind of weird. I don't know if I've ever seen a title like that, where it's like title and then subtitle, but the subtitle is kind of like... It's kind of just like a straight description of what the title is. They kind of mean like this... I don't know. You could have just called it Vultures, or you could have just called it Scavengers of Death. I feel like Vultures, Scavengers of Death is kind of like... It's like there's it's like saying vultures. Vultures. One boss of Nor has a metal as fuck backing track. Oh. Is it like standard survival horror combat? What kind of combat is it? There is also Deathbed, the bed that eats people. I think I always fuck that title up. I think it's Deathbed, the bed that eats, or something like that. I don't think it's Deathbed, the bed that eats people. I think I just add that because it's funnier that way. Yeah, it's just Deathbed, the bed that eats. I always remember it as Deathbed, the bed that eats people, but that's not it. Oh, it's a grid-based oh, so it's Kudelka. I might have to check this game out. Apparently it's Kudelka. Also, no, I cannot prove that Golly Gosh isn't the Shadow. But then who would the non-Shadow be in that case? It's Slap Saturday, so make sure you knock out some of my fangs. Don't do that. Don't just immediately say... Don't just immediately say it shall be done. Why do you immediately listen to Null? How come whenever I say something, people always jump to doing the opposite? Or they often jump to doing the opposite. Whenever Null says to do something, everybody's always immediately on board. Don't slap my fangs out. I'd prefer to be slapped on the butt than in the face. Although I guess you could slap my butt so hard that my fangs pop out. I guess that is possible. I guess you could slap my little booty cheek so hard that it causes my teeth to pop out. Like in a cartoon. But don't do that either. I don't know if I'm gonna put this art anywhere. I mean, at least not yet. We'll see. I do keep forgetting to do that. I am legitimately forgetting to do that. Trying to get scratches working. Is that horror game where you're like in the house with the candles? You have to like stay in the light or something, and it's like kind of rogue-ish. It's like it's like randomly, the layout is like different every time. I feel like I know what that game is. I feel like I saw a Let's Play of that game a long time ago. Golly. Yes, golly gosh. You're very persuasive. And I'm very weak. You're very persuasive, and I'm very... I don't know. Whatever the opposite of persuasive is, I'm very the opposite of that. Whatever you would call that. I don't know exactly what the word is. No, it's a name I made up. That's a name I made. It's not a... It's a character that exists only in my mind. This is just pure speculation. Oh yeah, I don't think I know what Scratches is. What the fuck is the game I'm thinking of then? I have no idea what this is. There must be another game that there's another game that I'm thinking of that I always thought was called Scratches. Whenever anybody mentioned Scratches, I thought they were... okay, I don't know what this game is. Huh. You heard another horny lewd tuber yapping about her? Oh. I don't know, maybe there's some cross-pollination going on. I'm not sure. I am not thinking of Nosferatu Wrath of Malachi. No, that's not what I'm thinking of. You gotta call Jerry frequently? If I ever play it, I'll remember. I'll be sure to do that. I'm very distracted tonight. I'm feeling a bit loopy tonight. I'm feeling a bit I don't know. A bit wound up, I suppose. I'm not really sure. We'll see what happens. I might not be able to concentrate on the artwork. But then again, I can never concentrate on the artwork, so that's not exactly going to be new. That's not a new thing. That isn't necessarily anything new, so... No, see, I'm in the process of saying that I can't do that. I was literally in the process of saying I can't do that. Anyway, what did we do last night? We played some more Subterra Core. I don't know, I'm like bouncing back and forth on that game very rapidly. Or very extremely, I guess. There's stuff about that game I really like, and there's stuff about that game I really don't like. Namely, the parts that you have to play. Namely, the parts where I'm in control and playing it. What up, Yak? How's it going? I'm feeling pretty good tonight. I'm feeling pretty good tonight. Maybe a bit out of sorts, but still good overall. Not in a bad way. I'm not feeling out of sorts in a bad way. You watching a friend of yours play The Crown of Leaves? I don't think I've ever heard of that. I don't think I know what that is. What is The Crown of Leaves? It's a cool title. Oh, it's some furry shit. It's some fucking furry shit. I think. Yeah. Some sort of visual novel, I guess? I don't know. I can't really tell from these screenshots. A hybrid of non-kinetic visual novel and point-and-click adventure. Why do they specify non-kinetic? That's so weird. Why not just say it's a combination of visual novel and point-and-click adventure? That kind of implies that it's not a kinetic visual novel if it has gameplay, whatever. I don't know, this is a strange description. It's the first commercially released adventure game ever developed in Argentina. That is a pretty, I mean, trivia facts are better when they're more narrow. There could have been an, yeah, that's true. How would we know? There could have been, I mean, I guess probably at least one other person made an amateur adventure game that they didn't release commercially, I would say, in Argentina before then. I would be shocked if they didn't. There's no way we'll ever know, but it did look fun, yeah. I feel like I have too many classic JRPGs I need to play before I get into the modern shit. Classics like Subterracore. Oh yeah, I think the emote wall is like the emote wall is present, but you can only see it. Yeah, it's behind everything else. The emotes do pop up, but they're behind everything. If you spam them during the opening before I appear, you'll see them. Chrono Trigger is a fantastic game. I highly recommend you play Chrono Trigger. You seem to enjoy games that are inspired by Chrono Trigger, so you'd probably like actual Chrono Trigger. Also, when I say furry shit, I mean that as a term of endearment. I don't mean that as a negative thing. I should say I mean that as a term of endearment. I don't mean it as a derogative. There's furries and chained echoes? I see. Interesting. Now, when you say there's furries and chained echoes, do you mean there's anthropomorphic characters, or do you mean that there's human beings who are into anthropomorphic characters and enjoy them? I'll be naked soon. Why? Because I need to take a shower. It's that simple. Thank you for the information, Minty. Appreciated. Thank you for the update. Northumberland. It's a funny sounding place. There's a human wearing a Sova mask? I don't know if I know what that is. Is that something in the game? Hey, don't be trying to elicit nudes from the chatters. You can try to elicit nudes from me, but don't do it to each other. I mean, one can bathe in a bathing suit, but Minty specified that she was getting naked, so I think it's too. You can't use that defense. You can't use that defense here. It's in North. It's Northumberland. Yeah, JRPGs can be pretty fucking long. I don't know. Subterracore is weird. It's like they took out all of the enjoyable things about our JRPG and just left like it's like the opposite of like meat on the bone. It's like they just took a bone. They carefully hewed off as much of the meat as they possibly could until they were left with just like the basics they needed to have it not fall apart. They have the structure, but nothing on top of it. As far as the gameplay goes, I mean. No, we're thinking about this in two different ways. I would say that they included important structural bones such as having a combat system or the ability to move around or items and equipment, but then they didn't do anything to make those systems interesting or engaging. They included gameplay, but they didn't do very much to make that gameplay enticing. Yeah, they haven't made the Hollywood adaptation of Pong yet. They haven't made the adaptation of Pong yet, the Hollywood adaptation, which I'm surprised. You'd think that would be pretty easy. They did make a Pong movie? When did they do that? go back to an old JRPG, really feel how bare bones it is. I don't know. There's a lot of like, I think a lot of older JRPGs were good about having a bunch of random things to do. I don't know, at least the good ones. I haven't played the shitty ones, so I guess I can't really say. They keep me entertained at least. Now get ready for excuse gameplay. I feel like I've definitely. Oh no, I have played most of the Final Fantasies, but I haven't beaten most of them. I've played like every Final Fantasy. I've been on record as saying I don't actually think Final Fantasy is that good. I don't really like Final Fantasy very much overall. I think it's like way overrated. It's like really not that good. Is Final Fantasy VII that good? I haven't beaten it. I played it when I was a kid. I never finished it. I've never gone back to it. So I truly have no idea. I truly have no idea. I feel like I've definitely played plenty of games that have excuse gameplay. I don't think that's a new concept. No, there hasn't been. There hasn't been what? Hold on. Are we still talking about the Pong movie? Is the Pong movie real? Pong movie real? Question mark. No, this just brings up Marty Supreme, which I do want to watch. I actually forgot about this movie. I do really want to see Marty Supreme. It was directed by a director that I really like. Can I find this through legal routes anywhere? Is this out of theaters? It's directed by the guy who directed well, I guess he directed it with his brother. He directed Good Time and Uncut Gems, which are both great movies. Oh yeah, I guess they are not directing together anymore. They're no longer they're no longer a dynamic duo, but apparently he's still got the sauce because it's supposed to be a good movie. What is his brother doing? No news, I guess. He provided Benny Safdie provided the voice of Bowser Jr. in the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Okay, I didn't know that. I didn't know Bowser Jr. was voiced by director Benny Safdie. That's a fun trivia fact. Ooh, Jacob's Ladder is a good movie. I should watch that again soon. That is kind of required viewing if you want to get the most out of Silent Hill. It's true. It defined a generation. If you need any more, that is Telford Center. If you need any more, it's mostly the sky actually. It's like half Telford Center, half the sky, I guess. And it's got some pretty reflective windows on it, so maybe like 60% the sky, 40% Telford Center. I was about to say, Subterra Court does feel, for having not, for presumably not being influenced by it really, because it was already being made for a while. It does feel very Final Fantasy VII coded with like the weird like cyberpunky feel to it. When did Final Fantasy VII release? January 31st, 1997. Oh, Okay, I guess we can get to the artwork now. I think I was about to say there must have been something in the water, but you know, like environmentalist dystopian themes is like, yeah, there were things in the water and they weren't good for you. And they're still there. They're still there. That's what I wanted to say. I don't like when people say, well, see, Final Fantasy VII isn't weeb shit because it's made by Japanese people. Subterra Core is weeb shit because it's made by Americans. It's made by weeaboos. It can't really be weeb shit if it's made by Japanese people. Then it's just Japanese. That always bothers me when people describe Japanese stuff as uh, weeb shit. It's like, no, it's just Japanese. An American and a Korean. A Korean American or a Korean in Korea. A Korean from Korea. Still not Japan. You could still be a weeaboo if you're from Korea. All around the wrecking? Oh, the hell, my mouth. Ew. Well, I took one too many sips of tea, I guess. Rican? Okay. I'll show you a fucking Rican. There were some other unimportant losers on the team. That seems oddly harsh. That seems like an oddly harsh estimation for the people who helped make this game that you seem to be quite fond of. But then again, if we're talking about the people in charge of like designing the combat system and all that, I don't know. Anyway, we're working on actually hold on. Character design for possible comic thing. This is another thing that I don't know, I feel embarrassed. I just feel embarrassed showing off my artwork all the time. Still, no matter what it is. Whether it's pornography or, you know, other shit that I'm more emotionally invested in. I guess I'm pretty emotionally invested in the pornography too. It's just that the emotions are lost. They're just a different subset of emotions that I guess are equally important to me. I was about to say, it sounds like a pretty famous hill. But also, I forgot to say this yesterday. I do quite like the phrase "I've slept since then." That's a good one. I might have to incorporate that one into my vocabulary. That's a good one. You'll have to tell your nan that I'm a fond of it. You didn't even know what it was. Didn't even know what it was referencing. That's pretty funny. All right, see you later, Noel. No, do not sell my teeth. Stop it. Uh, okay, that's what I want to make go away. I was about to say PlayStation 1 was Final Fantasy 7. There we go. Is Grinner still here? I have a question. If she's still here. I get distracted so easily. I meant to say this earlier. I don't know. I didn't warm up today. I try to do that now, is actually warm up before the art streams. I did not do that today. Yeah, go get naked. Only because you said you would do that, not because I'm trying to tell. Not because I'm trying to tell you what to do. I'm not super invested in that. That is what I was just talking about. So that one is firmly in the lead, right? That one. Yeah. The only emote over 20. Okay. Damn, it's almost old enough to drink. In America land. What time is it? Okay, I have something I need to do relatively soon. I mean, it won't take very long, but I do have to remember to do it. How long is this album? Okay, I'll probably have to get up before this is over. I was gonna start. I was like, can I time it to when the album's over? But no, I gotta actually keep an eye on the clock. But yeah, I do have another comic idea I'm working on. I mean, it's an idea that I've been working on for a long time, but I'm like very. I think I finally figured out how to start it. I think I finally figured out how to start it. Which is always my biggest problem. I never know how to start things. And it pisses me off. Yeah, PS1 was, yeah. Final Fantasy 7 was on the PlayStation 1. You could have been cool. At least among a certain demographic. I did have Final Fantasy 7. I had Final Fantasy Tactics as well. I love Final Fantasy Tactics. Again, I spent hours and hours grinding in Final Fantasy Tactics so I could unlock all the spells and see what they looked like. I was so fascinated with like the special effects in video games when I was a kid. I guess I still kind of am. And Square Enix always had the best. They always had really well done like special effects and that kind of thing. I still think they look really good. That's really what I think people should, when people try to emulate the PlayStation 1 aesthetic, I feel like they should go for that. They should try to emulate like Square's like special effects and things. I don't know. The PlayStation 1 had some cool looking effects. It had some mind-boggling effects. I don't know. I don't know if you could have been the coolest person. It's true. But remember, I just spent hours. I would spend hours grinding out like job points and things like that, so I get all the black mage spells and all the summons and things, just so I could see what they look like. I mean, I think that's part of the reason why I liked Disgaea so much. Is because it had cool looking abilities, so you could grind them out and see what they looked like. I was always so excited when my characters learned new abilities in Disgaea because I was like, ooh, I wonder what this one looks like. I don't know, a lot of people complain about that shit, about like, oh, these animations take so long, super animations in fighting games and shit like that. I'm always like, I don't know, I like that. I like that. I like cool animations and over-the-top special effects on my attacks. That's like some of my favorite shit. I think Minty was saying it's true to it's true to the special effects thing, not to you being cool, Yak. I'm sorry to say. Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that. I don't think that's what was being said. I don't think that's what was being gotten at, unfortunately. I think I need to make this brush a little smaller. I think I feel like, yeah, this needs to be turned up a little more. We need to turn up a little more. This character with the teeth necklace. Yes. Also, before anybody asks, none of the characters have names yet. I have many ideas for characters and their personalities and ideas on their designs. Literally nobody has a name yet. Literally nobody has a name yet. I'm thinking that the tooth necklace is actually their teeth. I don't know under what occasion a new tooth gets added to the necklace, but I'm feeling like I want the tooth necklace to be their teeth. I mean, sort of. They have bone manipulation abilities. So they can regrow that's why their teeth are sharp. Their teeth are canonically, that's not just like a normal thing for people in this world. Their teeth are canonically sharp because they make them that way. They have bone manipulation magic. I don't know, have I talked about this on stream before? I don't remember. I can't quite remember. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure under what conditions a new tooth gets added, but I think that would be a funny little detail. You're wending? Why are you wending over there? A voracious cave crawler mouth. I mean, that is gonna happen at some point. That is gonna happen, that is gonna happen at some point. Hold on, am I insane? Okay. Is this a UK thing that I didn't know about? Is that how you spell Wednesday over there? Is this a typo or American English versus British English thing? Okay. Because you did it twice, which made me start to wonder. And I was like, is this just something I've never noticed before? Or never seen before? Okay. I was gonna freak out I was like, hold on. I mean, my initial thing was like, am I getting Mandela affected right now? Have I been spelling Wednesday incorrectly my entire life? I was like, something's not right here, but I'm not sure what. Something's not right here. I'm going for a much more angular kind of. I mean, you can see it much more clearly when I like show the very basic like underdrawing. I'm going for a much more angular look here, which I do like, but I'm also discovering that it's kind of faster, which is good for a comic. I've noticed that it's kind of, when I keep it very angular and I try to use a lot of straight lines, or like, not necessarily like perfectly straight, but you know, like harsh angles and things like that, it kind of goes by quicker. I'm able to do things faster. I'm not really sure why. Maybe it's just the way that I do line work, but I was like, hey, wait a minute. I'm not doing that right now, which I guess I probably should, but I need to experiment more with like how I'm actually going to do the line work so I can do it quickly while it's still making it look good. Well, yes, they would be great. I just meant like, you know, they're probably going to be doing a lot of freaky body horror stuff with their with their bits. Like having a big creepy cave crawler mouth. Yes, I do know what the word voracious means. I don't know if I should do that. I don't know if I should do that in the first chapter or not, or wait. I think it would be a good first chapter thing to establish the fighting style. But I want there to be a moment where it's like they're like I don't know, they're like in combat. They're like in combat with somebody and they're like in a stalemate. And like the other person is like thinking about what to do and then they just bite their fucking face off. You know, like their arms are locked up or like they're in some sort of like sword clash or something. Some situation where the other person like isn't thinking that they're in immediate danger and then they just get their face bitten off or something. Just to establish that this character will do that and is capable of doing that. No, not quite that extreme yet. Not quite that extreme yet. Part of the one of the nerfs, I mean this is just a thing for the setting in general, but one of the nerfs on their powers is that it's very hard to actually heal yourself. Magical healing is not really easily available or very viable in this setting. So if they were to, you know, do the big open swallow somebody like a snake type of thing or extend the jaw or whatever, it would be much, much more difficult to make that go back to normal than it would be to do it in the first place. Like, you know, like all of the bone armor and shit like coming out of the hand and stuff like that. Like, if they were to turn their hand back to normal after this, it would be all fucked up and skinless and like all torn apart. Like, it wouldn't just go back to being a normal hand. So it's kind of more, it's more committal, you know? It's not something that can just be done without consequence, I suppose. This is a great song too. I like this album a lot. Another album I don't listen to enough. I don't know. It is sort of like a fantasy adventure type of story, but I really wanted to capture like that dungeon crawler slash D&D feeling of like I want it to be a lot about resource management, or I want that to be like a big part of it. I want that to be a big part of the overall strategy, I guess, that the characters have to think about. Like I kind of want to avoid the common like comic or manga thing where it's like the fight is over and it doesn't really matter how fucked up the main characters got because they'll just be okay after that. Like I want it to really feel like they have to very carefully consider how they're expending their resources. And if they get fucked up, like it actually like they're actually out of commission, you know? Like they can't just they're not just okay after that. These things are actually important to the narrative. Oh my god, this image is fucking huge, you're right. It's not even like there's a smaller version that you zoom in. It's just fucking huge by it's the only option. Yes, there's going to be a lot of people. There's going to be a lot of people dying that aren't the main characters. I mean, the main characters are going to die a lot too, but I don't know. I kind of want to avoid having like the amateur character that's like the audience. I don't know why I said audience so weird. That's like the audience. I said like a fucking New Yorker. I kind of want to avoid having like the amateur character who's like the audience stand-in or like the excuse to like have stuff explained to the audience because it's being explained to this character. But I feel like it might be I feel like it might be necessary. I don't know. I feel like there's a way that I could make that character interesting though, or at least fun, at least engaging. Boston. Boston. What up, Faraday? No, I don't want pages and pages and pages of exposition. I'm really trying to avoid that. My current running joke that's only going to be funny to me is I want there to be very deep and intricate lore for the setting, but none of the main characters give a shit about it. So anytime it's encountered, they just completely gloss over it because the characters themselves literally don't care. Anytime that there's a moment for exposition or that kind of thing, I want it to be prevented or stopped or interrupted because the characters themselves don't actually care. I still want it to make sense and like, you know, there's going to be some of that, but it would be very funny to me at least. If the main characters don't are not actually interested in that part of it. They are supposed to be a bunch of greedy assholes, or at least most of them, so I think it fits. Man, I hope I actually realize these ideas this time instead of just talking about them. I want to feel like a real dumb asshole. If I end up being all talk again. The characters drive exposition to straight man, but in a very brief and cursory way. Yeah, I'm thinking that most of them are going to be too stupid to understand, or they're not going to care. One of the ideas that I was thinking of is that I want there to be like a big, like mural in the background that you don't know what it is, and then the characters start to walk by it, and they're all talking to each other about something completely unrelated, and the word bubbles totally cover up the mural, and then they just walk by it, and none of them even stop to look at it. Or like maybe one of them stops to look at it, but they don't say anything about it, and they run past it because they're like, "Hey, you're lagging behind." And like make it so that you can still look at it and try to interpret it if you the reader want to, but the characters themselves very apparently do not give a shit. Like I still want the lore to be there and to make sense, but I don't want it to be like you could figure it out, or like there's enough to chew on if you actually want to do that, but it's not ever really spelled out, or like it's not like a big part of the story. I know I have a lot of ideas for some visual gags and things like that. I know ideas are hard to actualize. Oh my god, it's got little feet. It's got little feet. That's amazing. Ugh. Hmm. I guess we'll start doing this. I have to like I kind of just drew this. Like this is all just like concepts. This was just an initial concept. I have to like really go in depth as to like how all this shit is gonna look. And like make sure it's like consistent, like the bone stuff. And like how it all connects. I gotta do like a more detailed, like really think about how this stuff is gonna look. It can be used as a mount by goblin siegers. That sounds horrifying. I guess I should start with this one because it's the closest. Yeah, I kind of didn't quite like figure this out as well as I need to for the future. This is probably mostly what I'm going to be working on the art streams for a while, so get ready to get sick of hearing me talk about it. There are a lot of songs on this album that I really like. I always forget. Hey, what a picture. How's it going? 37 months, goddamn. Oh yeah, I feel like I haven't talked about this yet. I feel like I have to inform everybody now that Picture's here. I have to make a confession. I do unfortunately really like the game Marathon. Picture and I have been playing Marathon lately. I regret to inform everybody that I do actually really like that game. It is very fun. I know you all expect better of me, but is this? Oh, I was about to say, there's the concept art. Man, concept art Sandeep looks like they'd fucking seen some shit. Something really traumatizing is happening off screen right now. You have to make a confession? What's your confession? What is your confession? I can't guarantee that you will be absolved of your sins, but I have to be nice about it. I absolutely cannot guarantee that. I'll try to be, but there's absolutely no way I can guarantee that. I'm sorry. If you're that worried that I might not be nice about it, you maybe just shouldn't say it. I'll try my best, but like, I absolutely can't make a promise. Look, I'm on stream right now. I'm on stream right now. You recently inherited an elven milk business. Oh God. I see. I see. Interesting. That is some very interesting information. From who? From who? How did you come into possession of this? Oh, from the Saudis. Oh shit. I didn't know you had connections like that. I hope it's profitable. We could use a little cash injection. I hope it's profitable. I see. I see. Oh shit, okay, hold on. I gotta get up. Hold on, I'll be back in a few minutes. There, we'll be back in a few minutes. I'm muted. Okay. Wait, hold on. Never mind, it's not okay. Okay, it's okay. Sorry, that took longer than I thought I was going to. And I also made myself a drink. Our part is fucking sick. Baroness is a good band. I love them. At least they used to be very good. They kind of fell off. They're not as good as they used to be. This is probably my favorite album by them. This is probably my favorite. I could be both. I could be muted and Millie. Was that really that bad? Was it really that painful? I suppose it would be hard to continually type in a way that you're not used to. No, not a glass of slightly melted cheese. No. Hey, I got myself a nice slice of Velveeta. I heated it up in a mug. That's my nighttime drink. Instead of drinking warm milk or tea or something like that, I get a nice chunk of the Velveeta brick. I slurp that down, just like Grandma used to make. Mmm. No, I made a martini. What was I gonna say? I mean, I only wanted people. I was saying that people could be anonymous if they wanted to. I guess I was encouraging it, but apparently nobody wanted that. So it is what it is. Apparently nobody actually wanted that. Although in this case, I think it was a good thing. In this case, I think it was a good thing. Had I known the true identity of the merchant, I think that maybe would have tempered my behavior in a way. But now I see. Now I knowing what I know now, had I known it back then, I don't know if it would have been a good thing, but it's too late now. It's too late now. Oh, that's horrible. What was I gonna say? I'm just surprised you managed to last that long, Picture. I'm surprised you actually watched the stream. That's incredible. I don't know why you would do that to yourself, but wow. I don't know. I'm in shock. I'm in shock, I guess. Everything's been thrown into question. I'm not really, but I kind of am. What do I want to listen to? I think I do know what I want to listen to. See, I need to come up with more monsters like this. I need to come up with lots of monsters. Lots of horrible creatures. They don't even have to make sense. They can just straight up not make sense. It's fine. They don't need to be anything that like is realistic or whatever. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. I don't want to give too much away. I don't want to give too much away, I guess. I want people to actually be able to experience this shit without just hearing me yap about it constantly before it's totally realized, you know? I don't know, I feel a bit like the, I also feel like a bit like the, you know, the shy weirdo kid who's always drawing their little doodles in their notebook. All their little OCs and things like that that nobody cares about. Now I'm too afraid to show them off. Which I guess I am that, and I have always been that. I just now have people who actually want to hear about them. But it sends me back in time. I don't know, it probably would be better if it wasn't like uniform, now that I think about it. It probably would be better if it all did look kind of fucked up and weird, and it wasn't like... I think that would make sense for what's actually going on. You relate that during the comic? Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. I think for me too is that like I personally like really don't like spoilers, I guess. Like I try to avoid knowing as much about things as possible. I try to go into something knowing as little as possible. That's the proper way of constructing that sentence. That's the proper way of explaining that thought. That makes sense. I'm the type of person who likes to go into something knowing as little as possible, so it's like it feels weird to be it feels weird to like take that away from people with my own work, you know? I realize a lot of people don't care about that nearly as much as I do. I'm so like that though that like I will avoid watching trailers and stuff like that for like if I know I'm gonna buy a game or I know I'm gonna play a game at some point, like I will avoid anything about it. You know? Like something I know I'm gonna like, you know, like if Dark Souls 4 or something like got announced and they released a trailer for it, like I know I'm gonna play Dark Souls 4 at some point, so like I'll probably watch like the announcement trailer or whatever, but then I won't read up or watch anything else about it. I'll just play it when it comes out because it's like once I decide I'm gonna experience something, or like, you know, if I see a trailer for a movie, I'll be like, oh, that looks good, and then I will avoid anything about it until I go watch it myself, you know? Like once I make up my mind that I want to like experience something, I'll completely just be like, all right, I don't need to see anymore. There are obviously sometimes exceptions to that, but I'm pretty consistent. Once I'm convinced, I'm convinced. It's also a bit weird because it's like I also don't want to take the I have people that I know will want to read this once it's done. And I want to get their honest reactions to it. So it's like it feels a bit weird to be spoiling them on it before it's even been properly made. I'm such a I don't know. I must be very annoying to listen to. I don't know how anybody watches this stream. I must be extremely annoying to listen to. I'm such a fucking weirdo. It's good. It's like Torture Clause 2. Someone even more annoying. I mean, that would just mean that they read the first one. If they know what Torture Closet is, that's enough. This is not Torture Closet related, but it does have similar ideas because it was written by me, I guess. Actually, I guess that's probably a good design though. I have to keep that in mind. The bone formations should look more fucked up and weird and non-uniform the faster that they're made, I guess. Or like if it's a new formation or a new idea that hasn't been done before, then it should look more fucked up and weird. But then as they get better at using that particular forming those particular structures, they become more refined looking. Like maybe the hand like looks very refined because it's something that they do all the time, and they sort of have it like in muscle memory or whatever. Or like they prepare it more in advance. Or maybe have it like develop over time, you know, like you could like it starts out really fucked up and then like you see it become more refined the more they use the technique. I'm gonna draw it differently each time. You don't believe me? I mean, you don't gotta believe me. I don't even know if I believe myself. This is just an idea. I'm just thinking out loud here. It would be a nice visual detail, is all I'm saying. Will I actually do it? I don't know. Will I actually be able to pull it off? I don't know. Please be motivated by your naysaying. That doesn't work, unfortunately. I have too much of a fatalistic attitude. I have too much of a pessimistic attitude. The naysaying doesn't motivate me. I need the praise motivates me, or like the genuine excitement motivates me. The naysaying, if the naysaying happens, I'm more apt to be like, yeah, you're probably right. It's much more likely to elicit that kind of reaction. than it is for me to be like, no, fuck you, I can do it. I'm more likely to just agree and be like, yeah, I guess I should give up. Yeah, you're probably right, I should give up. Yeah, that's the much more standard reaction. That's the problem. That's the problem. I enjoy the, I don't know, how do I phrase this? I enjoy the bullying as a leisure activity. I enjoy it in a playful way, but when it comes to serious things, like, you know, I guess when it comes, I guess I just mean more my work. And when it comes to my work, I don't enjoy being uh, bullied about it or teased about it too much. When it's me as a person or my personality or my tastes or my anything else, it's fine. But when it comes to my artwork and things like that, and the writing and stuff, praise and excitement are definitely more motivating. I mean, I would prefer people just be honest, you know, about it. I prefer people just be honest about it. But if the intention is to motivate, then yeah. What am I talking about? What am I even saying at this point? I don't even know. If 10 people leave rave reviews and one guy talks mad shit, am I gonna give up? No. I'm not, I don't let myself like actually get dissuaded in that way. Like, I don't think it would actually make me give up, but it would make me feel bad. And when I'm feeling bad, it's harder to work on things, you know? It's more like, it's more like, how do I put this? This is kind of hard to describe. I'm not really sure how to say it in a way that actually, or actually like means what I'm trying to get across. If I allocate all my self-worth into my art, devastating. No, I have no self-worth points. All of my points got distributed elsewhere. None of them got put into self-worth anywhere. No, it's more like, yeah, it's more like, I don't know. I don't think my art is good at all. I don't think any of it's good ever. So, you know, talking shit about it or saying that you don't like it isn't going to be like, it's not like a weakness. It's, again, I'll just be like, I'll just agree with you. I'll just feel like, yeah, you're right. It is kind of shitty, isn't it? It does kind of suck. I already knew that. Like, again, I still do it even though I feel that way. So it's not going to be enough to stop me, but like, I don't know. If you like seeing my artwork and you want to see more of it, don't like ironically talk shit about me, I guess. I don't know. That seems kind of obvious when I say it out loud, but I don't know. If you like it and you'd like to see more of it, then just say that, I guess. I don't know. I feel like we've reached the ultimate end of we've reached the end of an ultimately pointless conversation at this point, I feel. I don't know. I feel a bit stupid again, but uh that's a pretty funny t-shirt though. I like that. Man, I don't actually have a Patreon, but that would be very funny if I got a t-shirt for the model that said alts on Patreon or something like that. Alts available on Patreon. That would be a good one. I don't know. I still have incredibly poor self-esteem. I just have mostly gotten used to it. I haven't gotten over it. It hasn't improved. I just am used to it now, I guess. It hasn't gotten better. It hasn't gone away. But I feel like the vest might need more details, but I also do kind of want to keep the design somewhat simple because they're going to be drawn a lot, so I guess I immediately talked myself out of adding more details to the vest. It does not need that. Would you still would you still call this a vest even though it's like so long? Does a vest have like a length cutoff? Would you still call this a vest? Or is there a different word for it? Perhaps instead of being, yeah, it sucks, you can instead say, okay, do you know how else I can improve? I mean, I do still think that way. What up, High Misfit? How's it going? Are you high right now? You're legally obligated. You're legally obligated to inform the Twitch chat if you're high right now. You're legally obligated to inform the Twitch chat if you're high right now. You're legally obligated to inform the Twitch chat if you're high right now. You're legally obligated to inform the Twitch chat if you're high right now. You're legally obligated to inform the Twitch chat if you're high right now. You're legally obligated to inform the Twitch chat if you're high right now. You're legally obligated to inform the Twitch chat if you're high right now. You're legally obligated to inform the Twitch chat if you're high right now. You're legally obligated to inform the Twitch chat if you're high right now. You're legally obligated to inform the Twitch chat if you're high right now. You're legally obligated to inform the Twitch chat if you're high right now. You're legally obligated to inform the Twitch chat if you're high right now. You're legally obligated to inform the Twitch chat if you're high right now. You're legally obligated to inform the Twitch chat if you're high right now. You The stream has detected marijuana smoke. Twitch.tv has detected marijuana smoke. Authorities are being deployed to your location right now. You wish. Damn. Well, hopefully you can solve that problem. Are you being nuked at this very moment? Depends. Depends on how much you resist. Depends on how much you cooperate with the autonomous robot death squad that's being sent out right now. They're pretty new. They're pretty new. We've worked out most of the bugs, but not all. The autonomous AI death robots, the autonomous AI law enforcement robots only kill innocent people slightly more than the human police. So they're operating within expectations. They only have a slightly higher kill percentage than the regular police. So they're operating within acceptable margins. In the French frog voice from Flushed Away, I gotta say I'm not familiar with Flushed Away. I don't think I know what that is. I am not familiar. I cannot hear that in my mind. I cannot hear that in my mind's ear. People often talk about the mind's eye, but they don't talk about the mind's ear that much, do they? Or the mind's tongue. Or the mind's pussy. I can really feel that in my mind's pussy right now. That's gonna be my line the next time I'm sexting with somebody. The next time I'm engaging in illicit online interactions with somebody, I'm gonna drop that line on them. It's a movie? Okay. Serious question. How long does Hunter Closet take to draw? I don't remember, to be honest with you. I really don't remember. I might be able to check if I can let's see here. I might be able to do some quick math for you here because I have all the files on my Computron. Snipe them? Snipe who? Remember which state? Look. We can get a little rowdy here too. I'm a little curious now though. Okay, I think I started with the the cover and oh, this is date modified, not date created. Oh no, okay. Is there date created? Okay, date created. No, this doesn't make sense. Okay, I guess I did the cover after. I started the beginning of October. And the final were exported. No, this can't be right. I don't know. I guess the answer is I don't know. Maybe a month? I'm not sure. I have no idea. I legitimately have no idea. I feel like it probably took longer than that though. I have no clue. Yeah, I'm working on a character design for a comic that I'm currently writing. Please do not stream snipe me while I'm drawing. Yeah, when I talk about stream sniping, I mean literally calling in a sniper hit squad to kill me while I'm streaming. Please don't do that. I'd really appreciate it if you didn't do that to me. The one going released me? Which song is that? Do you have a title? If there's any music you know of that reminds you of Mama Leak, please tell me, because I really like this band. What was I gonna say? I think I'm dooming about I don't mean to imply that I may be I maybe sounded a little bit too doom and gloom about my artwork before. I didn't mean to come across that negative. It's really not that bad. I do like my artwork, and I do enjoy doing it. I just am very, very self-critical. Okay. It's a line from a show. Okay. So it reminds you of a TV show. Okay. Man, I'm still working my way through JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I'm almost at the end of part 3. I gotta say, it's pretty effective the way that I've been kind of talking about how Araki's like figuring out the series and like how the stands work and things like that. I gotta say, it's pretty effective that there's so many comedy or like not necessarily comedy, but like unorthodox fights that happen back to back to back. Because then when you get to the real fight, then when you get to Vanilla Ice, which is more of just like a straight up like violence fight. I don't really know how else to describe it. But like an actual fight where it's just like they're trying to literally kill each other with violence, it feels a lot more impactful because you haven't really seen that for a long time. Like Vanilla Ice comes along and like it is one of the more dangerous stands that they've had to face. And it comes after a long string of much goofier encounters, which it makes it very effective. I like it. I don't know. It does take me a long time to do things. I do need to get faster. And also, when I'm going to be making the actual comic, I'm not going to be doing it like this. I haven't figured out exactly what I'm going to do for the art, but I'm definitely not going to be doing it like this. I'm going to find some way of doing the line work that's faster than this that I still think looks good. I absolutely cannot be taking my time like this if I'm making a comic. It's gonna take way too fucking long. I'm already pretty solidified on the idea that I'm gonna figure out some other method of doing this. That isn't as methodical as this is. I gotta figure out a lot of the mechanics. This shit is going to be very video game inspired, in case you were wondering. Shockingly, I know. It's gonna have mechanics. I gotta figure out what a few more of them are. I gotta throw up real quick. Ugh. I don't know. I haven't putting too much time into Marathon. It is a fun game, though. It is, for some reason, the only extraction shooter I've played so far that I actually enjoy playing solo. Which is a curse. There's like almost no multiplayer games that I enjoy playing solo, and this for some reason just happens to be one of them. I don't know. I'm not a multiplayer gamer. I'm not like a competitive multiplayer gamer. I don't really usually like those types of games. And when I do play them, I only ever play them with like friends. I never play them solo. Like I have like just shy of 2,000 hours in Dota. I don't think I've ever played a single solo game of Dota. Especially team-based shit. I don't like being on a team with randos. I just don't think it's fun. I just don't enjoy it. Oh yeah, I guess I did talk about this a little bit. I didn't even realize it. I completely did this by accident. One of the main characters in this comic is the transformation fetish character that I designed completely without intending to do that. There's maybe going to be a lot of shadow leakage that comes through with this. I don't know. We'll see. That one was completely intentional. Or unintentional. Fuck. God damn it. It's happening again. It's happening right now. You can see it. Oh. What time is it? Okay. I'm losing track of time during the stream. We've already been going for 2 hours? Alright. I definitely am too self-critical, though. I gotta get over that. Or I gotta stop doing it so much. There's certain aspects that I feel like I've kind of gotten over it. I feel like I've made a decent amount of progress lately in those areas of my life, you know? I feel like I've made a good amount of... I've gotten a good amount of character development done. See, like this for sure, I definitely cannot be taking this long to do. This for sure definitely needs to be drawn more like this at some point, just to speed things up. I think even maybe just using this brush, but with different settings, might be the eventual, might be the play. I don't know. I do need to time myself. I do plan on doing that. I will hopefully be able to give a better answer as to how long a chapter of a comic takes, because I am very going to be very conscious of that when I start production properly. I would love to be able to get to monthly chapters. That would be very nice. A chapter a month feels good. I guess I should say that is the planned release format, I suppose, is chapters. I'm not going to do this page at a time. I think that that's stupid. Or, well, that's maybe too much. That's maybe too harsh of an estimation. That's maybe too harsh of a pronouncement. I don't think it's stupid. I just personally find it unsatisfying. I would much rather write and produce on a chapter by chapter basis as opposed to releasing single pages. So that's the plan right now. That's the current goal. I think a chapter a month would also be good too, because then I could do like a Patreon or something and be like, hey, you subscribe monthly, you get a chapter a month. I don't know what you would actually get though for subscribing. It might just be one of those things where it's like you subscribe because you like it and you want it to keep being made. Like, I definitely want people to be able to read it for free. I don't want it to be behind a paywall. That would be stupid. That would be a bit silly, I feel. But it would be nice to make some money off of it. It would be nice to make some money off of something. It would be quite nice. I do believe. I do believe I would enjoy that. Oh, that was a big stretch. That was a monumental stretch right there. That stretch was so good it kind of made me tired. That stretch was so good it kind of made me sleepy. I'm not gonna lie. Ugh. Yeah, I just got smacked. I just got absolutely blasted. By a wave of the sleepies. We're definitely gonna finish the line art tonight, though. That's for damn sure. I'm like, I can totally do that. I'm not gonna call it early or anything. Anyway, I am gonna get up. I'm gonna take a break. I shouldn't snap. Can you hear that? My fingers are so sweaty. You can probably hear the wetness. It sounds like a wet snap. It's muted because my hands are so sweaty. Ugh, it's making it worse too. It's not a crisp, dry snap. It's sort of a wet, sloppy snap. That's horrible. I'm so sorry I did that to you. I'm so sorry I did that. Anyway, I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna take a break. And I will be back in a few minutes. All right. All right. I got some pretzels. That was what I had to go do early. I had to go turn on the oven so that some warm pretzels could be made. And now I reap the rewards. And now I reap the benefits. And I did realize that I forgot to get some napkins, so instead I got a roll of toilet paper. So instead I will be enjoying my delicious treat and then wiping my hands and face on some toilet paper. This is a professional production here. The Alchemilia Petrichor stream. Only the finest. Only the finest for you. You're back from your shower? It sounds like it was good. Feel clean. Oh, Jesus. Feel clean and pretty as opposed to gross and pretty. I don't feel very pretty when I'm gross. Those two things don't really go hand in hand for me. Hmm. I was gonna say I don't really feel pretty ever, but that's not true. I do. I've been feeling it more and more lately. I don't know, like I said, I've been feeling good lately. I don't know why. I feel like I'm on a good, like... I'm riding a good wave right now. I'm operating at a good vibrational frequency, I suppose. Feel I feel content. Maybe even a little bit more than that. Maybe even a little bit joyous, perhaps. I don't know. A nice warm pretzel with some mustard is like, as far as snacks go, it's hard to beat that one. As far as snacks go, I think a nice soft pretzel is like pretty hard to beat. I said warm pretzel at first, which I guess it's implied that if it's warm, it's soft. It would be weird to have a warm pretzel that's weird to warm up a hard pretzel. Is that a thing? Do people do that? Do people put their like hard pretzel sticks in the microwave for 30 seconds or something to get them nice and warm before they eat them? 30 seconds is probably too much. I kind of want to try that now. What does a hard crunchy pretzel taste like when you warm it up? Is that good? What if it's really good? What if it's actually really good? I've been missing out my whole life. I wouldn't know. Oh, okay. It would be difficult too, but there are people who are into that. I don't know. We'll see who gets to it first. I kind of want to try it now myself. I don't know. As far as snacks go, though, I think popcorn will always be my number one. I think popcorn's always going to be my number one favorite snack easily. It's too good. Especially now that when you buy just the kernels and you pop them in like a pot or something, you get to put your own toppings on. It's perfect. And you have control over how bad it is for you. You have control over what goes on it. Because just plain popcorn is literally just corn, you know? Like, it's up to you. Cock porn. Yes, exactly. That was one of the. I don't know if anybody else has experienced this, but this happened during a. I'm just now real. You gotta bear with me here, because I'm just now realizing, based on what triggered this story, it's gonna sound weird, but I don't know if anybody else has experienced this, but like when you're having a sleepover with your friends or you're pulling like an all-nighter with people, like when it gets to be, I mean, I think we've experienced this on the stream too, but when it gets to be like really late at night, like when you reach the point where it's like 2 a.m., like 3 a.m., when you reach the witching hour of like 3 a.m., like when you're just hanging out and you're like staying up like way later than you should be. It happens all the time during sleepovers. It's just like everything just becomes way funnier. You just like reach this kind of like weird delirious state where like everything becomes way funnier. Um I was having a sleepover with my friends and we were in my kitchen and I had some corn pops, which is a cereal. And we discovered that if you switch the first two letters of corn pops, it becomes porn cops. And at the time, it was maybe the funniest thing that any of us had ever heard in our lives. The phrase porn cops, I think, had us laughing on the floor laughing for like a good half hour. Not resisting. No, because they're both, because it's like, no, if you come on, I love the you're not invited to the sleepover, Minty. I'm rescinding your invitation. You're not invited to the sleepover anymore. He's reaching for his cock. Get on the ground. Put your hands in the air. Stop resisting. I think that was also the night that one of my friends broke one of the cabinets in our kitchen because it was, I don't know, it was really weird. His like pocket got caught on one of the handles and it like completely ripped the handle off of the cabinet door. It was very weird. This was also not the sleepover where we played Newgrounds porn games together. That was a different sleepover. We all gathered around the TV downstairs and we played Let's Fuck Tsunade. It was a wonderful moment. Was a wonderful bonding moment. No, you're still invited, Minty. I do still want to do the sleepover stream. I don't know what it will entail. I don't know what's gonna happen on the sleepover stream, but I do want to do a sleepover stream where I stay up all night and we treat it like we're all hanging out at a sleepover. That's gonna be a real parasocial watershed for the stream. It's gonna be a real parasocial moment for the stream, I think. Also, picture knowing what I know now that I've been availed of certain information, I'm not only shocked, I'm not only shocked that you even watched the other stream, but that you did it for so long. You really adapted to the environment You really adapted to the environment much more uh easily and quickly than I expected. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I'm gonna have to reflect on that tonight. I'm gonna have to go into the cave of self-reflection and really think about that, about what that means. I feel like our friendship has really, it's, I don't know. I feel like we've taken another, we've crossed a new threshold. Our friendship has leveled up again. It was fun. I'm glad to hear it. It was savage. It was very savage. It's true. Yak has told me that he wasn't able to do it. He could not cross the barrier. The After Dark streams had too high a barrier of entry for him. He couldn't hang. And I don't blame him. I don't blame him. See, I'm not really entirely sure how stuff like this is gonna work. Like, I want the character to be able to have, like, bone armor and things like that, but I'm not really sure what the exact mechanics behind how it functions are gonna be. I gotta think about that. Yak is a good Christian boy? He certainly doesn't seem like it. I don't know if I'd go that far. Damn, I am kind of losing steam. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see what happens. As long as I hit the 3-hour mark, I'll be satisfied. I don't know. I still am not sure. I guess this is even more confirmation that it's okay, but I don't want to damage the... I don't want to damage the Spirit Quest brand with my online activities. I'll have to be listed in the credits under a different name. I'll have to come up with a different pen name. Maybe I'll go back to Massive for that. I don't know. You can't do the cartoon sexy? That's probably good. That's probably better. That's probably better. Massive Who? That's my other alter ego. My other name. Before I became Alchemilia. And also, I guess, after. And also, I guess, after. I don't know, was Yak around for that era? I'm not sure. I really don't remember. I don't remember when Yak started watching the stream, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't know when Yak started watching the stream, and I don't know why he continues to watch the stream. I don't really know why anybody continues to watch the stream, honestly. At the beginning of the gay arc, you're gonna have to be more specific. I don't know if I could say that's a discrete arc. I don't know if I can say that's a discrete arc. That's more of a long-running theme. That's just intrinsic to the narrative as a whole, I feel like. I don't know if you could confine that to one specific arc. I don't know. I'm trying not to let too much shadow leakage happen. I'm trying not to let too much darkness leak into the mainstreams. But it might be inevitable. I don't know. Could we stream Marathon Picture? Do you think anybody would enjoy that? Or is that just a bad idea? I kind of feel like it could be very funny. I feel like we have very good banter when we play that game. Your setup won't handle it? I mean, I just meant like, you know, streaming it like us playing together. I could be the one streaming it on my end. I'm assuming my setup can handle it. I don't know. I feel like we have very good banter when we play that game. I feel like we tell good jokes. I'm too deep in algebra. I don't know. They've been talking a lot about how they're trying to improve the game, and I'm like, really, like, I don't know. It's nice. It seems like they really give a shit. They've talked about a lot of stuff that I'm excited for. Actually, we had a moment today that made me kind of reflect on this. They're talking about adding like more. Talking about adding like a PvP, or not. Sorry, PvE mode and like a PvP light mode. They're gonna experiment with that in season 2, where they're gonna have like a dedicated PvE event, and then like an event where it's like, they shift the balance more towards PvE with a little bit of PvP, and see like they're trying to find like see what people like and like how to make it work. No, see, this is what I'm talking about. People are saying like, I want like the more casual mode. This would be a nice like wind down, or like a nice like, whatever. And I'm just like, they could make it hard. You could make PvE hard. It doesn't have to be easy. You could design it and make it really difficult. Like, it doesn't automatically have to be easy just because it's PvE. You could make challenging encounters and make it like actually hard to progress through that mode if you wanted to. And I was thinking about earlier today, we fought players who literally just stood there while we shot them and they died. We fought players today who were less threatening than the bots. We killed a real squad that was less reactive and less threatening than the AI. Like, it's not automatically easy because you're facing the AI, the CPU, and it's not automatically hard because you're facing other players, you know? Like, I don't know. I just think it's kind of weird that people, like, automatically assume that the PvE mode will be easy. And I'm like, what if they make it difficult? They could just make it difficult. Which I kind of hope they do. Like, I don't want it to be easy. We did sneak up on them fatty style, it's true. I did watch something that was like talking about like, I don't know, just about like the game in general, and the person was saying like a big mistake that I made was I used to play really slow all the time, but I found out that the best way to play is you move fast, but then as soon as you hear something, you stop. You move as fast as possible, but then as soon as you hear something, you slow down. And I kind of realized that that's how I've been playing, and it is actually really effective. If you actually like strategize and like try to figure out where somebody is and get the drop on them, like you pretty much like, yeah, it's, yeah. But I don't know. I don't know. It felt good. It felt like we actually know how to play the game now. I don't know. It's just a fun game. I just want to have fun playing games with my friends. I just want to do hood rat shit with my friends. That's how I feel about that game. I just want to do hood rat shit with my friends. I guess that's kind of how I feel about the stream too. I just want to do hood rat shit with my friends. I don't know. I don't know why I feel so zapped today during the stream. I guess I do now that I think about it. I guess I do know why I feel so zapped. It's been a bit of a trying day. It's been a bit of a taxing day, I suppose. And right before the stream started, too. I don't know, the stream itself takes up so much of my social battery. The stream itself takes up so much of my social energy. I feel like I need to just go, like... I need to go monk mode on the weekend. And just, like, not talk to anybody outside the streams. I can't do that, but... I feel like it would improve the quality of the streams. I can't do that, but sometimes it feels necessary. Hmm. I have to come up with an explanation as to why the clothes are able to survive. I mean, I guess I don't really I have to, I mean, I do have to come up with an explanation. It doesn't have to be a good one or a very well thought out one, but it does have to exist. It does have to be something. It can't just be nothing. Yeah, I think that I like this outfit so far in terms of like complexity versus detail. think it looks good. Damn, that snack kind of made me hungrier. I feel like that happens most often with pretzels. You ever have a snack and eating the snack makes you hungrier? That happens to me a lot. I think my midstream snack, all it did was serve to make me hungrier. All it did was make me want to eat more food. Ugh. Oh yeah, that's right. I guess I can just do it when I color this, but there's supposed to be a like two-tone hair. The tips, all the tips are supposed to be a different color. I kind of have a color scheme in mind for this character, but I don't know. We'll see how it actually looks when I do it. I will say, I quite... I'm liking this design so far. I'm liking this art so far, despite dooming and glooming earlier about my artwork. I'm liking this so far. It feels pretty close to what I had in my mind. It feels pretty one-to-one to what I envisioned in my brain, which is nice. That's always a good feeling. And it makes me feel hopeful for the other characters. That I'll be able to pull that off for them too. At least most of them. I'm a little iffy on some of it. I'm a little iffy on some of it. I guess that's the other thing about this project. It's gonna be difficult. It's not gonna be easy for me to do this, I don't think. I'm gonna really have to push myself to get it done and get it done right. I'm excited to do that. I think I can do it, but it certainly will not be easy. When is it ever easy? Exactly. Exactly. I don't know. I feel like I've just been a little stagnant for a while, and this is gonna force me to be very not stagnant. It's gonna force growth. It's gonna force character development. But yeah, I think the tips of the hair are just gonna be black. I don't know. I'm not sure. We'll see. I gotta figure out the color scheme. I'll have to come up with an alternate color palette. It's like in a fighting game. I kind of had an idea based on watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. But one of the things with JoJo is that the color palettes for the characters were never consistent. So they do this thing in the anime where when shit gets real, you know, when the fight takes a turn, the color palette completely changes. Which I always thought was a really nice homage to the fact that Araki never really came up with, like, he would always experiment and do like alternate color palettes for the characters and stuff like that. This is a very dungeon crawly kind of story. So I thought it would be kind of cool if like I did something similar where it's like every single area or every biome that they visit, the color palettes change for the characters. I don't think the comic is going to be in color, but like I kind of want to experiment with that idea of there being like everybody having like different colorways or different color palettes based on the situation or where they are. I don't know exactly how that would be expressed, but it seems like a fun idea. Come up with everybody's the full spectrum of their fighting game alternate colors. That seems like it would be nice. I don't know. I think too much. I have too many ideas. I wish I didn't. I wish I had less ideas. I don't know. I guess I feel like you would vibe with this story picture. I feel like you would vibe with this comic. I should bounce some ideas off of you one on one. We should talk about it. I feel like you would have a lot of good input. I don't want to spoil too much for people, but I do like riffing. I don't know. I'm not really sure how much more I want to do. I don't know if I really want to keep going for too much longer. I'm feeling pretty content tonight. And I don't know. I just don't feel like I want to start coloring this right now. I do have to figure out the color scheme, but I just don't think I want to do that right now. This is number 1 of 4. There's 4 main party members. There's 4, possibly 5. I haven't decided yet. Main party members. So this is a quarter. This is 20 to 25% of the main cast. Hopefully you'll be seeing the others soon enough. I think I'm going to be putting a lot of time into this, starting now, because I've been meaning to for a while. I've been meaning to for a while, and this kind of came out exactly the way that I wanted it to, or pretty damn close. So that's encouraging. That makes me want to keep going. think I'm gonna get up though. I think I'm gonna go piss. I don't know if there's gonna be too much after that though. I think this might be a relatively short one. I think this might end up being a relatively short one. We'll see. I'll be back in a minute. Ugh. Ugh. I saw a spider in my bathroom. Always a good sign. Ugh. Always a good sign to see a spider friend hanging out. At least around here. At least around here, it's always a good thing to be seeing a spider. Of all the various types of creepy crawlies and other bugoid creatures you could be finding in your abode, the spider is the one you want. You want those guys around. Of all the different crawling minutiae of the earth that you could spy within your domicile, the spider is the one you want. The humble arachnid. I don't know. I think I might call it. I think I might end it. I think I might retire early tonight. It feels like the right thing to do. Feels like the right decision tonight. I really don't know why I'm so tired. No, I do. I keep saying I don't know why. I do know why. I just can't reveal that information. I do know why. I just can't reveal. Why though? I just said I can't tell you. You gotta trust me. You gotta trust me on that one. It's not pertinent information. It's on a need to know basis, and you don't need to know. Anyway, yeah, I think I'm good. We made some good progress tonight. I did exactly what I wanted to do. I was less distracted than I expected, and we made good time. We scored a birdie on this stream. We got it done under par. Shockingly. In a shocking turn of events. I actually did exactly what it is I set out to do, and in decent time as well. I guess it's okay to take it easy once in a while, though, you know? I guess it's okay for me to actually, like, take it easy once in a while, instead of just saying that I will do that and then not doing it. Huh. I discovered some new information about this scene that I didn't know. I discovered some new information about this ending scene. I don't know why did I set it up like this? I'm very confused as to why I've done things the way that I have. The mysteries of past Alchemilia's actions will perhaps never be made clear. I will perhaps never understand why the strange creature known as Alchemilia Petrichor does what she does. And in a way, I think it's better. I think it's better that I don't know. But yeah, I apologize for this being somewhat of a shorter one. I hope it was enough. I hope you're not feeling deprived. I hope this was good enough. You were able to get what you needed. And enjoy. I had fun. But yeah, thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for watching. I hope you all had a good time. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll be playing more Subterra Core. Which, I don't know. It is a fascinating game, I guess, so far. It has lots of peaks and valleys, I suppose. It's like a roller coaster, you know? Except like if a roller coaster had like really shitty parts to make the exciting parts more unexpected. I don't know. Maybe it's not like a roller coaster. I don't know. It's like the world's longest, worst designed roller coaster. I don't know. This is a bad analogy. This analogy is not helping. It's not doing what I want it to do. Anyway, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out. I hope you all had a wonderful time. I love you all. You are all fantastic people. I am so very grateful that I get to spend my time with. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.